You can't even scroll on TikTok, YouTube, or any other social media platform without seeing someone either documenting their GLP-1 agonist journey or some advertisement for some telehealth companies that's providing compounding formulas. And it has gotten a little weird and crazy, right? I've seen more and more people wanting to know information about this medication and trying to figure out how they can get it. Before you start, I want to make sure that you are informed and not just jumping into this blindly. There are several benefits, such as lowering blood pressure, losing weight, of course, reducing inflammation, a bunch of good things that make you feel healthy and happy. But then there's also a downside to these medications. And so before you make that decision, here are a couple of things that I feel that you need to do in order to make sure that this medication is right for you. All right. So, disclaimer, I am a busy mom over 40. I said I was going to be a YouTuber at my last video, so if you didn't see it, check it out. But I got responsibilities, as the Rugrats say. I got responsibilities. So I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. I'm making this video and I'm about to fold my clothes. So if you have anything that you could be doing to habit stack watching YouTube and doing something else, go ahead and join me, all right? Go ahead. Take a minute. I'll wait. All right, so let's get started. So back in 2013, I was diagnosed with chronic kidney disease. And for a while, I had been able to manage the symptoms and everything that was going along with having kidney disease. One of the main symptoms that I was experiencing was having protein in my urine, but then that went into remission. But my blood pressure, it stayed high. Even to this day, I'm having issues with regulating my blood pressure, but that's due to kidney disease. And so back then, I think I had youth on my side 10 years ago. You know, I was still in that phase where my body was able to fight, you know, continue to fight, continue to make sure that everything was working the way that it was supposed to. Even though it was working hard, my body was still responding to medication and the treatment plan in a positive manner. But then the era of the cough happened, right? And for some reason, my body has been drawn to the cough every single year since it's been in existence. I've probably had the cough 5 times in 4 years. And I've noticed that since 2020, I had been feeling a little bit more sluggish. Even though my kidneys had been still hanging in there, I developed a heart issue. And I'm not saying that it was because of the cough, but I am saying I didn't have it before the cough. So I had been dealing with that, going to the doctor, got on medications to get that under control. And then for some reason, after I hit 40, my body was like, girl, we tired. We're tired. And both my cardiologist and my nephrologist, they were saying, hey, if you lose weight, I promise you, it'll help with your symptoms. You'll be able to reduce your medications. And for someone like me, it's like, yeah, I know how to lose weight, but the actual doing part, that is the hard part. I mean, I am a mom, I'm a wife, and I work in education. And let me tell you, that ain't for the weak, right? I would be so tired, so stressed, and I would do what I could do. But then I started hearing about Ozempic and all these other medications, Wegovy. And so I talked to my nephrologist and I talked to my cardiologist, and both of them said that they would be okay with me starting the medication because, you know, I get blood work done. I get they monitor my health. So there are benefits to taking it, and they were both comfortable with me taking it. And so I first inquired about Wegovy last year. I had been watching YouTubers talk about their journey, and I called my primary care doctor and I was like, hey, can you give me a prescription? And she called it in and I got approved just like that. And I was like, there's not enough information. And the fact that she was just like, get it. And I didn't have to make an appointment with her. I was like, nah, I'm scared. I just didn't do it. So I let that prior authorization expire last year. But I still, was trying my best to lose weight. And nothing was working. I was basically losing and gaining the same 5 pounds. And so earlier this year, I was like, I'm tired. Like, I need help. And that is the hardest thing for someone like me to do, is say, hey, I need help. And so I again began to inquire about those medications. And the first thing I did was, again, went back to YouTube, started looking at those videos again, scrolled on TikTok, and then I joined Facebook groups. And I felt more educated, I felt more enlightened, and I was able to see real people and what they were going through. So my first step would be, if you feel as if this medication is for you, you're already doing it. You're finding people who are already on the journey, who can give you tips, who can give you tricks, who are going to be giving you the real, raw information about what happens on this medication. Either you're going to be like, yeah, I want to do it, or you're going to be so scared that you're like, nah, this medicine ain't for me. Because the people that are in those groups that I've been in and the journeys, they are telling you how it is, the real, raw truth. And people have different stories. Some people have no effects at all, side effects at all. And some people are really being drugged out here with this drug, not like drug, but like drugged on the ground, like drag somebody. They are really going through it, right? And so I was like, if I'm going to do this, I need to know. I was looking in the Facebook groups, I was looking at the videos, and I was just writing down information, things that kept popping up: eating protein, drinking water. And for me, I know that I can't have a lot of protein. So what I did was I took all that research. What are some questions I can ask my doctor about it, right? That's one. I had a list of questions I needed to ask my doctor about it when we talked about it. Then I saw, well, if I did, these people are saying, hey, this is this side effect. This is what they're doing in order to help them with that side effect. So I wrote that. Researching before you even start allows you to take questions and concerns to your doctor so that you can have questions answered that are specific to your case and not just looking at what everybody else is doing. No one can give you medical advice except your doctor. But this process allows you to tailor some of the things that you're hearing and seeing and ask those questions of your doctor. Which brings me to my second tip. Make sure you find a board certified physician or LPN or someone who has knowledge about this medication and who has knowledge about you. It is important that you just don't, like, I need to get my hands on this medicine, and they use this doctor. A lot of these people are getting paid to promote these telehealth companies, things of that nature. If you're going to do this, this is about your health. Make sure you have doctors that are going to care about you and your health, and not just say, hey, here's the medicine because you asked for it. That's not going to work for you. My journey to finding my doctor was real simple. I went through my through my job. We have in my hospital system a program called Center for Best Health, where they actually specialize in managing diabetes and helping you if you have a BMI over 30 and a comorbidity, right? And so because I was considered obese and I have high blood pressure, and some other things that are comorbidities, they were able to take me, and I went in and I had a conversation. Now, at my doctor's appointment, I was still like I'm just going to ask him about it, but I don't think I'm going to take it. It'll be good to know that if I decided later to do it, I'll have the, prescription, but I don't think I want to do it, right? But I was just going to talk to him because this facility, I talked to the doctor first, and then they set you up with a dietitian. Then you go to a psychologist, and then you go to an exercise physiologist, right? You have all 4 components of health and losing weight all in that one office. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try to do that on my own first. And then, if that don't work, I'll try to get on the medication. And my doctor, we talked about it. He talked to me about my body scan that I took in the office. We had a conversation about how I should be eating. We talked about my kidneys. I gave him my labs from my nephrologist. We just had a whole conversation about things that he felt like I needed to do on my own in order to lose weight. And then the conversation at the end shifted to medication. And we talked about all the different weight loss medicines that you can get, and we talked about the ones that would be best for me. And so we settled for Zepbound. And again, I was just like, all right, you can write it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to fill it. And he was like, of course, it's here if you feel like you need to. But just in case, I want you to go downstairs, get labs done so that we can, just get a baseline on your labs. I had not eaten anything that morning, so it was a fasting test. So I go downstairs, get the blood drawn, and then the next day I get an email from his office saying, hey, your A1C is elevated, your cholesterol is high, basically you're pre-diabetic, insulin resistant, and one more diagnosis that deals with cholesterol. And I was like, okay, sir, shot me. Let me go get this prescription filled. And that's when I got real serious about pursuing another prior authorization and getting ready and getting started on this journey, because my grandmother had diabetes, and I saw the toll that it had on her. Her sister had it, and I just saw it, it was just, it can do a lot. And I don't want to become diabetic. So that was all it took for me to be like, you know what? Let's get it done. Let's do it. So while I was waiting for my prescription to be authorized by my insurance company, there's one other thing that you have to think about. So in that, I went to my doctor. So let's recap the first 2 steps. 1, do your research. Do your own research. Know for yourself. Read about the different side effects, things that can help with. Do your research. And then find a physician that will help you in your situation, who knows you and your history. The third thing that you need to do is to consider the cost. And when I say consider the cost, I'm not only talking about the monetary value, but the cost of, is this going to be more beneficial than it is risky? My husband liked to say, is the juice worth the squeeze? You have to figure out if you are willing to deal with some of the issues that you've sought out in your research. People have been hospitalized. People have been dealing with paralysis of the intestines, of the stomach, the GI tract, pancreatitis, a whole list of things, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. Like, all these things are real and can prevent or can hurt your quality of life. Are you willing to take the risk, right? And if you are, what can you do to prepare before you start taking it? Are you going to have a list of medications or things ready to go if you start experiencing side effects? That is something that you need to do. And for me, I felt like I am really racking up diagnosis, kidney disease, high blood pressure, now pre-diabetic. Like, no, if I don't act, I'm going to have the same result. So let me just try it at least for a month or 2, and let's see what happens. And if I don't, I can always stop. But, let's go for it. So consider that cost. And then you also have to consider the financial cost. The financial cost can be a burden for a lot of people. Now, this section, let me just say, I am speaking from a place of insurance privilege. My company, the school district that I work for, they cover obesity medicines, and I have a small copay that I pay. I think I paid $50 the first time, but then the coupon was added and I paid $25 the second time. So I'm speaking from a place of, because I have insurance. In my research, I just didn't feel like I would want to pay $500, $700, over $1,000 for these medicines, right? I don't know if I could. I know I wouldn't be able to. I could afford it, but I wouldn't want to. I have children. We have needs. My oldest is getting ready to go to college. Like, that is a lot of money to put into medications that could potentially, have me and my quality of life, down the toilet. And then the unknown of going the cheaper route if you don't have insurance with these compounding pharmacies and vetting these pharmacies and making sure that you're getting quality. I don't think that I would be willing to go through that. So again, do more research and decide if you can afford it financially. Some people are able to do it. Some people are making sacrifices. They're reducing some budgets, their budgeting period, and reducing some costs here so that they can afford these medications, because in their heart of hearts, they feel like this is life or death for them. And I understand that. But for me, I think that if I had to pay, I don't know if I would be on this journey in this manner. But again, that is me speaking from a place of insurance privilege. And then the final piece of advice I would say to you is to always have joy on this journey. And I say that because, again, I'm still in these groups. I'm still looking at YouTube videos, and everyone's journey is different. And a lot of times people are starting to take these medications and say the first thing they want to know is how much weight you lost. Well, I only lost 3 pounds. I'm sorry. I only lost 3 pounds this first month, and you lost 15. Wow. No. We're not comparing. We're not comparing each other. We're not doing that. What we are doing is understanding that we are all on our own separate journey. I'm going to be happy for you and your weight loss, but I'm also going to be happy for me and the benefits that I'm receiving. Right now, I am on the slow pace. I am not trying to lose a lot of weight fast, because weight loss is not my goal. On your journey, you are deciding how these medications are going to benefit you. I am taking this medication. Yes, losing weight is a great benefit of these medications, but for me, it is mostly to reduce the amount of medication that I'm taking, to make sure that I am not being diagnosed with something else. So before any weight comes off, I want to make sure that my inflammation is reduced. I want to lower my blood pressure. I want to have the quality of life that allows me to enjoy my children while I still have a little bit more youth left, right? And weight loss is a benefit, but it's not the end result. Because if I can lose weight and still be unhealthy, I don't want that. I want the health component, and the weight is a plus. So make sure that you have joy in your journey. Whether you lose 0 pounds, you gain 5, you lose 2, 3, count it all joy. Count it all joy. That is something that we have to do, not only on this weight loss journey, but in life. Once you have that joy, then comes peace. Then that love that's already there exists. You find your people, and you will be able to make sure that you are living the life that you are supposed to live. All right, so how many pieces of clothes did I fold while I was on this camera? 3. Well, I'm going to get ready to finish folding my clothes, and I will catch you all on the next video. I hope that the information that I shared today was helpful, and if so, Please consider subscribing. Leave a comment below. Let me know where you are so I can come and join you on your journey too. And I will see you in the next video.